Okay, boys and girls, this is just kind of an impromptu chat about this and that concerning EvoDevo with Rational Empiricist, who I shall call Andrew, even though that may or may not be his name.
If you may not have noticed, but actually I drew a new picture for my StreamYard image.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You have to make a chat.
It's white because I always do it in
that.
pencil.
Yeah, I can't see it though. Shit. I need to make it bigger. And I don't think you can make it bigger on this thing. Oh, maybe it does get bigger. I still can't read the writing. What is he saying?
Better sit down. Dot.
Nice. Nice. Pretty cool. Anyway, yeah. So you want to chat?
Yep. Well, I guess part of it was prompted because, well, the other day we were going over that talk, quote unquote, I had with Maddox. I also like to call him Maddox and Socks.
Yeah. Mad Socks.
Yeah. And like I guess, wait, did we ever finish that section of it? Because I'm pretty sure like I don't know if it was because of me or if he had something to do or anything, but like I think he rage quit. Or
did he rage quit? No, well, he booted you, right? Didn't he boot you?
No, I was still there for another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Like just we were talking, and then he started to get more and more vague, and then at some point he just left, and in the private chat there was a total waste of time.
Oh, okay.
Presumably about me.
So he rage quit. Yeah, and he had been corrected by Emery Moyna. Because he was claiming that mutations are caused by environmental pressure or something like that.
Yeah, that didn't make much sense to me. Like
he was trying to get you. He was trying to get you to say something or talk about something, and it was his usual thing, I think. How did this arrive by chance or something, or is it a code or whatever? His usual. He's only got about 3 channels in his mind, and then he fills up and he gets confused. So.
Like thought processes, basically.
Yeah. He's oh, what the hell? He's trying to work above his pay grade. He hasn't done the requisite work to understand what he's talking about. So he thinks this code thing is a really big problem. Like he thinks that the fact that genetic engineers said that it wasn't a code, or some people say it's not a code and some people say it is. Well, he's seized on that, and that's all he can think about. And he thinks, like with his challenge to Dr. Dan, he thinks if he proves it's a code, if I just prove it's a code or proves its point, that we're going to see that evolution is false. And it's like, what are you talking about?
That doesn't make much sense.
No, Maddox doesn't look well. Is he currently live? I don't know.
Oh, that would be freaky. Well, I mean, like, even if DNA is a code, which I'm undecided on, I honestly don't really care.
I think everybody is.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's a code, what's the point? I mean,
right?
You're gonna say it's a code, therefore it has a designer, obviously. Well, that doesn't always follow. I mean, like I'm not an expert on codes, but I know that just because you're gonna look at something and say it's really, really complex, which admittedly life is complex. But like that doesn't mean that it's the hallmark of design or anything like that.
Yeah, the word code originally came from encryption, ciphers to fool people, basically.
Right.
I think I'm pretty sure that's where it came from.
Well, DNA doesn't fool people.
Yeah, DNA doesn't fool people. We
Like
figured it out.
I mean, it's pretty easy to understand. I mean, like it's just the DNA code, if you want to call it that, is like I don't think it's that difficult to appreciate or anything. So I don't know why. Anyways, I don't think we should focus on the code part of it. I think we should focus on more the aspects of where this whatever it is, how it got to be, basically.
Yeah. So the word code comes from system of laws or law book, from codex, from the word codex, I think. Let's see. It literally means tree trunk, like
Tree
book.
trunk.
Tree
Huh.
trunk, like a book. Yeah. Codex. I think that's an earlier word for it. It means tree trunk. So what they're talking about is a book of laws, that sort of thing. That's what it was originally. And that's kind of how it relates to computer code. So I'm looking up the etymology of code. So to put into code 1815, I think specific. Okay, I'm not sure when it was first used. So I think
Correct.
huh?
Or I just want to say, Correct made a really good comment just now, and he said, "If evolution is false, quote unquote, what's the alternative?
Yeah.
There is no current alternative.
Yeah.
Some claim there's an alternative, namely a common design or anything, but that's not really an alternative."
Yeah, there's absolutely no way to even get there. So I don't know. Anyway, okay.
Anyway, what were you saying?
EvoDevo. What was I saying? Oh, I was talking about code and the. I mean, the reason we're on the fence about it is because if you call it a code, you have to understand what you're doing by calling it that. Like, if I want to call it a code, I may be trying to convey to you that I can write a table and you can look up the amino acids based on my table, right?
Sure.
And then you can translate it, like with a little codec, right? With a system of rules. So it means that you can translate it with a system of rules. And he thinks that automatically proves that, oh no, there was a designer. There had to be, because we couldn't have a system of rules without a designer. Well, that's not true of boulders tumbling down hills or stars forming or the periodic table, for instance, is a gigantic codec. I mean, look at the periodic table. And look at how sodium lines up with lithium and potassium, and you can see the codec in the periodic table. So does that mean that that had to be designed? No, because we can show you with quantum mechanics how that came to be.
Right, like
So,
it's kind of a faulty generalization, basically, because it says that, okay, these specific examples were designed, and of course in their minds everything was designed. So I'm gonna say immediately designed, according to observation. But if you're gonna say, okay, these specific examples were immediately designed, therefore everything that has the properties of this example is also immediately designed, that doesn't necessarily fall.
right. It's called begging the question. So that's what they're doing by loading it up with the word code and with the word machine or factory. They're coming up with an argument, and they're begging the question. They're putting their conclusion into the premises, and
Right.
when we push back on that, we refuse to call it a code because we're like, well, let's see now, should we call it a code or should we not? They're like, oh no, you atheists, you just don't get it.
Right.
And like, no, it has nothing to do with atheism. It has to do with biology. And
I think I think creationists are seriously against any kind of disagreement whatsoever.
yeah, they kind of want everything to be laid out for them in some huge, thick textbook. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. The Encyclopedia Britannica, the Bible.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. Yep. Who is Will Kincaid's top?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I never know who's. People keep changing their damn name. Quit changing your names. Let's because you're confusing old Speed.
Yeah.
You don't want to confuse Speed.
Let's see. Yes, it's a code. You win. Why should I think Jesus died for my sins?
Yep.
Anyway, so more into the evolution side of it. Going away from the code, I guess I think we'd both agree that creationists don't really understand deep homology or EvoDevo in at least the basics, because I'm not an expert on EvoDevo by any means, but like I think we're both more informed in the basics than they are.
Yeah. Yep.
What you
I'm
drawing?
just doodling. Don't let me distract you.
Oh, let's see, because I was actually watching an interesting video the other day. Do you know the channel TED Ed?
No, I don't think so.
No? Oh wow, they have a lot of great videos on science and history and English and stuff. It's pretty random, but I was watching a video the other day about the evolution of the turtle shell.
Oh yeah.
And they went into the details of how let's see, I'm trying to remember. So as the turtle embryo develops, you have this what's it called? The carapacial ridge that goes around the body of the turtle.
Okay.
And from there, from the center, basically these signals cause bone to form horizontally instead of pointing down like in normal rib cages, for instance. And that forms the foundation of the upper part of the shell called the carapace. I think that's what it's called. And then the other signals cause it to be hardened with even more bones, so the sutures fill it up. Oh, yep, that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the first minute or so.
Let's see. All those pretty pictures of turtles. And oh, they got cute drawings. Okay. So go on.
Okay. Let's see. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah, and so from there, from that line right there, if you basically go a little further. So you go there, the bone grows out basically to the carapacial ridge.
So
and then
aren't these bones originally from the ribs?
Yeah, they're derived from ribs, yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was saying they start developing so that they move outward instead of sloping down, basically.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty interesting. And then the other part was the bottom of the plastron, which according to them is due to neural crest cells, which I have no idea what that is. But apparently
neural crest cells?
Yeah, neural crest cells.
Oh my God!
Do you know what that
really?
is?
Yeah, they're that's in the development of neurons. Let me just make sure I know what I'm talking about by looking it up.
Yeah, they said like neurons and bone forming cells, and I feel like there was another one. Yeah, look it up. I can't remember.
Yeah, they neural crest cells. So part of them become brain cells. So neural crest cells, temporary group of cells unique to vertebrates that arise from the embryonic ectoderm germ layer, which is where your brain comes from. Actually, the same layer that forms your skin, which is scary, and in turn gives rise to diverse cell lineage, including melanocytes, for coloring, craniofacial cartilage and bone, smooth muscle, peripheral and enteric neurons, like in your stomach, and glia, which so there's I I've got a picture here. Let's take a look at it.
Okay. Isn't that the part of the neurons?
What's that?
The glia, is that part of the neurons?
They are what they are like the supporting structure of the brain, and the glia also feed the brain, give it nutrients, and they're involved in the formation of I think the Schwann cells, which wrap insulation around your neurons, but they are not the neurons. So the glia, like frequently, if you get brain cancer, you'll have a glioma. So there's all kinds of glial cells in between all the neurons. It's the supporting structure of the brain and stuff. And I have been away from neuroscience too long. I really need to. But anyway, you see on the right here, this illustration. This is the neural crest forming. And that comes from the ectoderm. And then it forms this little invagination down here, where if you can see my cursor. And then it closes off and it grows shut, and that becomes your spinal cord and your brain on one end of it. And then the neural crest cells break off from the green here in the middle, and they break off and they form the glial cells and apparently a whole bunch of other stuff. But that creates the bottom of the turtle. I did not know that. That is cool.
Yeah, maybe play that part of the video. They'll probably explain it better.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. I can reshare.
Yeah, go back.
I gotta switch to my headphones. Oh shit! I left my headphones on. I am a bad man. I hope they're not dead. Let's see if they work. If I can get them working. Speak to me.
Can you hear me?
Not work. Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, it's gonna work.
Yay.
It's gonna work out really good. Unlike most of my shit.
Don't say that.
Most of my shit's broken.
Oh, technology.
Yeah, technology.
I thought
technology.
You meant your
Oh, yeah. No, me. I'm pretty broken, but I love it. I've gotten used to it. Okay, so play that part, or should I go back a little bit? Maybe right to
I guess play the part with the let's see, with the stem cells basically. I think it was a little, let's see.
Before or after?
A little bit further. Maybe try like a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. All right, okay. And let's play that.
On the body, between the neck and lower back, creating a disc shape.
Can you hear it?
It guides the formation of the upper part of the turtle's shell, called the carapace, likely by attracting the cells that will become ribs. Instead of curving downwards to make a regular rib.
Sorry, I forgot. Can you email Midnight the link?
Yes.
That's over because I think he said they want to get in and hear us talk about EvoDevo.
Okay. What's happening? Why is it happening? I hit the wrong button. See what I mean? I'm broken. Okay. Shit. He's changing his name on me. He's got 3 names now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Tanya, Midnight, and Athena. Just to confuse me. That's why he does this. Okay. Should I play?
Yeah, go ahead.
Rib cage, the ribs move outwards towards the carapacial ridge. They then secrete a signaling protein that converts surrounding cells into bone-forming cells. These 50 bones grow until they meet and connect with sutures. A ring of bone solidifies the carapace's edges. The outer layer of skin cells produces the scales, known as scutes, that cover the carapace. The development of the bottom half of the shell, the plastron, is driven by neural crest cells, which can produce a variety of different cell types, including neurons, cartilage, and bone. A thick shield of these cells spreads across the belly, coming together in regions that produce 9 plate-like bones.
That looks like a cute turtle.
Eventually, these connect to the carapace by sutures. A turtle shell has obvious advantages guarding against
that's pretty much it.
rigid casing also presents some.
I like
By the
it.
way, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty cute. By the way, I don't know if you guys know acapella science, but they have a very like a very interesting video, like music video. You're talking about EvoDevo. If you can look it up,
Oh, the song.
yeah, like like I can't really. It's
Uh,
catchy, but yeah, have you heard of it?
I've
Heard
heard
of
of it. I've
acapella
never
science.
watched it. Yeah, I'm
By
not
the
really
way,
into science music videos.
well, yeah, Speed. If you want to play that, if you want to play that, it's very good. Just go to up there and look for EvoDevo music video.
Hold on a second.
All
I
right,
got
let's try it.
two.
Thanks for joining us, Midnight.
Yeah, you're welcome. I was, I completely forgot you were going live, but then I noticed you were, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, let me go in here.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to tell Speed. I'm a terrible person.
You are. Just like me. Now I'm not alone. Thank you.
Yeah, we're all terrible people.
We're horrible. Okay. So let's see. I shared that link. Okay, so I can back up. So what am I looking for?
Go to, look for EvoDevo.
One word?
Oh, I think it was the Despacito one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
EvoDevo song. Hold on, go down.
Song?
No, EvoDevo. Yeah, EvoDevo song. There you go. It's the first one. Oh, and the other one's good too, but EvoDevo is the one that
Are we gonna get a copyright strike?
I mean, you're already getting a copyright strike from the other one anyway. So
Okay. I'll link it. People can watch it. I don't want to push it. If you go over 10 seconds, I don't know.
well,
Yeah.
no, hold on. You can,
I
you
forgot
can
about
stop
copyright.
it.
Sorry.
I fucking hate YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, don't they, like I saw one video today where at the beginning they said that parts of this content are copyrighted and they had it in the credits at the end. So they warned you,
I mean,
Like
yeah.
If people
But it's the same-
if people don't want you to use their stuff, they should have a warning in the beginning that you can't use it. And then
But
we wouldn't
even-
have this.
Yeah, but even then, this video is publicly available. You can criticize it. You can, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could be like, okay, it's cool that he said that. You know what I mean? Like, you could criticize the shit out of it. You know what? Never mind. It's a very interesting video that that people should definitely check out.
Yeah.
Yep.
YouTube is broken.
Yeah. So let me see here. Let me share this screen.
So before we get into it, Midnight, or do you want me to call you Midnight still, or do you have another stream
Midnight.
name? Or
We're calling him Midnight.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
It's
I
a
don't know.
rule on this channel. He's Midnight. We're not going to play that game Midnight.
I mean, if you want, I'll switch back. Like, Jesus.
No, you. I don't care what you put on your thing, but we're going to call you Midnight.
Fine.
Okay. We're not going to.
But what did you want to ask me?
Good.
So I guess what's your thoughts? I guess on EvoDevo so far. What's your knowledge or whatever you want to say on it?
I don't have a lot of knowledge on it. Like, at least not off the top of my head. I watched that music video a lot, and it's definitely a lot of interesting stuff to look into. Where you go from embryology, they go to embryology to a person, and then they go through the entire. It's an interesting thing. I need to look more into that. But evolution, developmental evolution, evolution and development. Yeah, there's so much to learn. God damn it! Ugh.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating.
I want to live forever. Fuck you.
I don't want to
Yeah.
live forever.
Well, we can have a discussion about that later. But yes.
Yeah. Yeah, probably a side issue. Let's see. I guess should we maybe talk about how because because I feel like we've discussed what EvoDevo is on a lot of other streams. Like,
Okay.
should we, I guess, get into like how creationists don't understand it?
Yeah, go ahead and.
I mean, before you do that, we could have entire streams, saying it didn't understand it, and in fact, we do, because Speed here is kind enough to have a stream every day,
It's what we
talking
do.
about talking about what creationists do not understand. But please continue.
So, how do they think it works? Do you have any idea, Andrew?
That's a good question.
These are genes.
I feel like it would be like we more the epigenetic side of it. Like, I feel like that's how they think it works.
Well, there is the epigenetics do obviously play a part, because
Right. Sorry, Jessica. I should be more specific. Epigenetics in terms of like DNA methylation and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
Yeah, they think that is the entire story, but the real story is that you have like I have a layer of cells here, these red things.
Yeah,
and they can actually differentially have different little. They can send out different signals, based on what side of the cell, even sometimes.
Yeah.
So we get more, we'll get more green signals here, and over here these cells are slightly different because of maybe some other cell up here, right? That's formed. So this is like sending out juice, little juices this way. So this cell becomes different, but most of that in EvoDevo, I think what the hell? Okay, get out of there. Get off my lawn. This.
Speaking of lawns, well, okay, no, but before I actually had a conversation with my downstairs neighbor, he's like, there's no scientific evidence to show that we came from monkeys, and I was like, okay, sure. We had a lot of people don't really understand evolution, or they think, oh, it's just a theory. You know what? I'm like, okay, I gotta go.
I blame popular science education, but go on, Speed.
These are my bone cells down here.
Ooh, nice.
So the bone cells are going to send out like calcium forming minerals, and they're going to ossify basically, right? But the reason that they're bone cells is because they're next to this epidermal layer up here, and that is sending out these signals. And now this doesn't have so much to do with epigenetics as it has to do with these. Basically, you've got these receptors. G protein coupled receptors are a big one, and you don't need to know other than that they have this really pretty well conserved they have 7 things that cross the cell membrane, right? This is the cell membrane right here. Okay. And they send out a signal. It's called a second messenger. And that second messenger goes down and it hooks up to some other protein, right? And it causes, maybe it'll phosphorylate that thing. And that thing hooks up to still another protein and still another protein. And then it gets transported inside the nucleus. And we're going to draw a little nucleus here with a double layer. And then it attaches to some promoter down here, right? So it goes down there. And it either expresses this gene plus, or it inhibits it minus. And so every one of these different cell types has a different proteome, we could call it, a different number of proteins. So a proteome would be, oh my goodness, learn how to spell. A proteome would be a set of proteins, right? So it'd be a set of proteins. So we have P1, P2, and P3. And not only that, but P1 is actually a little tiny complicated object itself where it has a certain percentage of expression. So, or a number, we could call it an N. So it has, so P1 will have 100 proteins and P2 will have 50,000 proteins. and P3 will have 3 proteins. So that
Don't forget each protein is made from an amino acid, so that that's a lot of shit to also
Yes.
consider.
Yeah, each protein is different. So overall, what we have is a proteome. And of course, that's not the whole thing because there are also small molecules. But let's ignore that. And we'll just call it a proteome. So every one of these different cells, like, okay, this one here, if we have P1 at 10, and we have P2 at 100, and we have P3 at 50K, okay, it becomes a bone cell. So it gets expressed. And the interesting thing about these is there are feedback networks. So this protein gets created, right, by the second messenger. The second messenger comes from outside the cell, and it creates this P1, right? And P1 will create something over here. It'll cause some other protein to activate, and that protein will create more P1. Right. We should do that with P3. So that's why P3 jacks up to 50K, right? Because it's a positive feedback loop. And other things can have, like, as soon as they pop up, it'll have a negative feedback loop so that it shuts it down right away. So you'll end up with P1, which only has like 3 or 4 of these proteins, right? And so every cell has a unique formula, and it's based on it's based on genes, but it's also based on where the cell is physically in the embryo. Right. So it depends on where it is in the space, right?
Right, like what other cells it's communicating with, basically.
Yeah. And this might be like an epidermal layer. And then what happens, like originally, oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, here's a GPCR, a picture of one. How about that? I just happen to have one handy. So this is the 7 alpha helices crossing the transmembrane barrier. And we have a signal molecule up here. Right there is the signal molecule. And then it goes down and it turns on the second messenger down here. So I should have a different color. But what is happening? Why can't I draw my picture? I don't know what's happening. Oh, well. Oh, wow. I know what happened. I had to draw off my picture. Okay. So this is the second messenger down here. And there's a lot of those. And every one of those GPCRs is also a protein that came from another gene from an earlier cell. And what happens is every cell kind of like has all of these different complex levers and gears and mechanisms. And what it does is it specifies a kind of cell. And once it becomes very specific, it cannot be changed. Now, there are some epigenetic factors in there, but the creationists way overplay that shit. It has to do with these mechanisms as well. Is Dr. Dan here yet to yell at me? I live in fear of Dr. Dan saying I'm wrong.
Yeah, I really hope he shows up because I feel like he could add to this conversation.
Oh, I should invite him. Why don't we invite Dr. Dan? Because he probably doesn't even know we're doing this.
Okay,
I just kept it light,
Yeah. Let's not let the room get too crazy.
Nope, we're not going to let Danny in here. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah,
that would be doom.
Yeah, but while you're doing that, just to say something, I like how you brought that up because it's really freaky, but it's also kind of amazing. To think about how these genes it's like a multi-tiered system basically, where like the genes specify the cell's type in a simplistic sense, and you have the cells communicating with each other on a larger sense, and then that kind of builds up over time. So like you can't get the single organ type from one cell, and I think that's kind of amazing because you can look at all these different cells working together. And when you look at it on a big scale, it turns into like a heart or a lung or something. I just find it pretty incredible.
I don't know who Will Kincaid's top is. I forgot.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say that they wanted on, but I don't know, but yeah, EvoDevo, like I always find it amazing how fertilization happens, right? And it's weird, it's weird to think that we're all women, just
Yeah, in the beginning.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
No, I mean, you could make an argument that we're always women. We're just like, I don't know. It's fucking weird to talk about this stuff because yeah, we all start out as women in the sense in the sense that a lot of the a lot of the material, the molecules that that are in us, came from the egg, and and the sperm just like added to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Biology is weird altogether.
You're telling me.
But this is the hierarchies. There's these networks form all these hierarchies, right? And they feed down. Like this is top down, top down, and bottom up. And the bottom up would be like this, like what the cell is specified at, and the top you could imagine to be stem cells. And these hierarchies feed both way back and forth. So it's never just top down or bottom up. It's always this dynamical network. And the amazing thing is that all of these different cell types, they start out as this, like you start out as this zygote, right? And you form this little pile of cells down here, and then it differentiates into 3 different membranes. And from there you take off and you become a human being. These 3 different membranes are all different.
I mean, some of us become human beings, the rest of us become creationists. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, a little bit of dehumanizing humor. I apologize.
But when you start,
you're poking at a bee's nest.
Yeah, oh, God forbid that Otangelo shows up.
Well,
if we say that 2 more times.
Well, no, hold on. I'd rather have him than the other guy, if you get my drift.
Yeah, I do. Otangelo is so much. He is a cut above the rest.
Yeah.
I think Sal Cordova is done with me because I poked him enough.
Well, whatever. Sal Cordova, whatever the fuck his name is,
the reason that he's done with me, I think, shows intellectual dishonesty. And we could get into it on another stream somewhere else. But
hey guys, look who's here.
Oh, it's Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan, and I think, Jay Pasick, you're right. All embryos are inherently females. Well, the egg, I suppose. Males come about by the introduction of a particular chromosome. Am I correct?
Oh, let's see. I'm talking to Dr. Dan.
Did you email him, Speed?
I emailed you, Dr. Dan. I gave you a link.
Yeah, if you could join Dr. Dan, I think you could add much more to this chat than we could, the 3 of us.
I sent it to Creation Myths. So, but anyway, the point is that this cell specific. Well, I was going to mention when you study embryology, it is very, very difficult. It's a very difficult field because they're constantly going back and forth and top and down. And it's extremely difficult. You have to read it over and over and over again before you start to get a feel for what is going on. And I have some.
Isn't that with every subject?
It is, but this one is much worse. It's much more complicated. Let me see if I can find us a book to look at. We can look at some of these things.
Yeah, Dr. Dan. I don't think Jay thought it was that simple.
Oh, goddamn, I don't need a cat. Loki?
Uh-oh.
Who called this cat?
The trickster.
God, I'd rather have Otangelo than this cat. He's going to start jumping around and he's going to screw my microphone up. Okay, let's see. Population Principles of Development by Wolpert. Okay, this is the one that P.Z. Myers uses. And it's the one that I'm not... Huh?
Are you sharing your screen or?
I'm going to shortly. I'm trying to find the right book. That's okay. Principles of Development. And the other one is
I have too many books. Stop speed. I can't buy any more. Just kidding.
Oh, wait a minute. No, this is not. This is the one that I actually read the whole book. Take that, Smokey.
Who?
Smokey Saint.
No, you missed a joke.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry. Did I say it out loud?
Yes.
Oh, God, I just hate it. Hate it when I do that.
I want to see the books. The books.
The books.
The book is happening.
Yes. Show me the books.
The book.
Principles of development. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's okay. How long is this?
How long is the book?
Yes.
We're going to be here all night.
600 pages, 700, 900, 10,000?
About 700.
Oh, God damn, it's a textbook.
Yeah.
Why are textbooks so fucking dense? Like, seriously.
Oh.
Well, that's a little far into, let's see if we can get in. Wolpert is not the one I
maybe
wanted.
pick a few pieces out because I don't think we could get through much of that.
No.
Yep.
Oh, here we are. Let's see. Development of the Drosophila body plan. Okay. And the first thing that happens in the Drosophila is called the syncytium, syncytioblastoderm. Like the yolky cytoplasm, and then it starts to create all these cells right here. I don't know if you can see my... Oh, I should make it a little bigger. I'm sorry. I can't make it much bigger than that. So 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, fruit flies are really a problem. Anyway, it develops all these cells, and they migrate to the surface out here,
Right.
and basically they have many nuclei, each one of them, and eventually each one of those nuclei creates its own cell membrane, and then it turns into this blastoderm, which is just a big skinny thing around the center, and then it goes from there. And then it starts developing, like from the anterior to the posterior end. These cells start to signal each other, and they start to differentiate. And basically, and this is the gastrulation, basically, it's the phase of it. And they form these 3 layers, which makes them a tripoblast or triple blast: the ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. And then it goes on, and there's just a whole bunch of. They have videos in this book where you, if I were a really good host, I would have them already ready to go. But I didn't know where we were going here. But they show you a video of this development, and it's in high speed, and then they form segments, and it's just wonderful how all this happens. And then you get your halteres and your wings and your genitalia and all of this differentiation. And this book gets way far into this. This is just the 2nd chapter or 3rd chapter, I think, or something. They get much further. But it's pretty cool. There's a whole lot in here. The problem is when you're reading this stuff, they do this, right? And they try to tell you in words, and you have to keep referring to the pictures and getting the spatial dimensions right in your brain. And here they kind of get back into it a little bit. Amniosa, dorsal ectoderm. It's pretty cool.
Okay, can you send the book, or can you? What's it called? Development of a
Oh my God, that would be illegal.
I know it would. So no. Actually, no. You know what? Never mind. You're right. It would be illegal. Can you?
This book is $160.
Yeah. Can you send me? You send me the link with procure the book for monetary value.
Oh yeah, I can send you an Amazon. This is Principles of Development by Cheryl Tickle, which tickles me, and Mr. Wolpert and Arias. So anyway, it's a good book, but it took me almost a year to get through it.
Wow.
Yeah, because and then I have forgotten most of it. It's in there somewhere.
Yeah,
Here we go. The toll. This is one of those signaling pathways, right?
Oh wow!
Basically, yeah.
I want my money.
The toll signaling pathway, And then we have the Jack Stat pathway. I don't know where they have that. This is how the follicle develops inside of the mother. And this shows basically how the eggs end up with a anterior and a posterior end, which is interesting. And that happens inside the mommy. And so by the time the egg is laid, basically the Drosophila knows its ass from a hole in the ground. So it knows which end is its ass and which end is its head.
Pretty much.
And I call that, and I often claim that creationists don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. But I can explain that later.
There's a joke to be made there from one of Aaron Ra's videos.
Oh, really? Does he do that?
Yeah. Ever heard the term deuterostome?
Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah. Right. Our butts form first.
Yeah, everybody was born with an asshole, and everybody has an opinion. I messed that up, but you get the point.
Okay, here's the Jack Stat pathway. So there's about 6 pathways that they talk about that we know a lot about, and each of them have some effect, like we were talking about earlier, to differentiate these cells and turn them into a particular kind of cell. So anyway, default female switching to a male is more complicated than the Y chromosome. Yes, it is very complicated. What I found out about the determination of gender and sex and gender in human beings, it's a hell of a lot more complicated than I once thought it was. I thought you have a Y chromosome, you grow a penis, and you're a man. But nope, that ain't quite how it works.
Well, when you deal when you deal with complicated things like chromosomes, obviously there's going to be, there's going to be like a bimodal thing, right? Like sex is more bimodal. It's not binary. You know what I mean? There are those who were born to considered intersex. They seem to be like a fucking like intersection between. You know what I mean? Then
I can understand how many different types of human beings there are. That we have so much variation within us. It's kind of amazing. I always had a problem with that because I always felt more feminine than my some of my friendly male friends, and yet I fully identified as a heterosexual male. But I always had this sort of like, I'm not like them. I like hanging out with the girls more. And I never understood that I am a full-fledged heterosexual who has, a lot of feminine characteristics. And much to my father's chagrin, he was horrified by the fact, like, I remember one of my earliest memories, I was in a hardware store and the shelves were gigantic. So I must have been about 4 years old. And I wanted a cooking set. I wanted to cook like mom. And my father was just trying to get me to buy a truck. and I was just like, I want this. And my mom finally won and I got my cooking set. And my next memory is my mom, this towering beast that was 25 feet tall. And I had this little tiny, these mixing things, and I was making a pie. And that was the beginning of my chemistry career. So that was the beginning of my love of organic chemistry. But anyway, I remember my dad, I knew that my dad did not want me to have that goddamn cooking set.
I mean,
anyway, we went too far down that hole.
Well, no, I mean, for me, adding on to that, I was always told I was too sensitive growing up, and I did notice I was more, I guess you can call it empathic than other men. You know what I mean? Which it was like, okay, well, I don't know, men are not supposed to cry. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh wait, guys, I think we may have been, or Dr. Day may have had us muted when we asked him to look at his email.
Oh, look at your email, Dr. Dan. I sent you.
Or you might want to put in chat, or you might want to tell him in chat.
Oh,
just in case.
Am I still muted?
No, he said he had us muted.
Oh,
Or I don't know why, but or like
why
one of
would
the
you mute us, Dr. Dan? Don't you love us? Okay, so here's some of the genes involved: hedgehog, let's see, and wingless, and delta notch, and delta serrate, and then they have spits and vein, and born morphogenic protein, which is BUMP, and that has the TGF pathway, which is pretty cool. Decapentaplegic, screw glass bottom boat. How about that?
Wait,
The
what?
hedgehog
What was it
gene.
called?
Huh?
What was it called?
Okay, there's a protein called, there's a gene called screw. There's glass bottom boat. There's a comma there. And then fiberglass growth factor, branchless, pyramus, thisbe, unpaired. I mean, they normally name these genes by what happens if you don't have them. So unpaired would be the gene that makes sure that things are paired. So if you knock it out, you'll end up with a wing on one side, possibly. And that's polarization of the oocyte. But anyway, these genes get quite complex. Bicoid is involved in the posterior, anterior. It decides, which end's the butt and which end's the head, that sort of thing. And a few others do too. And I can never fucking remember them off the top of my head. Gherkin. I mean, these guys have fun, don't they?
Yeah.
When they name the genes. So anyway, my point of showing this book is that this is how development works. And it isn't like a blueprint is read or there's some methylation or acetylation and all of a sudden, voila, we have, a particular cell type. And that's what the creationists seem to currently think.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see what else we got here. We got some other clever pictures all over the place. Why is that? Oh, okay. So I'm already there. Anyway, and that is just the Drosophila.
EvoDevo. Woo.
Yep. Okay. So moving on. What else we want to talk about?
We could talk about how cool you are.
I'm not cool.
Okay, fine. Sorry,
I'm still heated up from talking to Danny this afternoon.
Oh, dude, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. Would you mind not having him anymore? Like, come on, he's such an arrogant, condescending prick. Like, seriously.
No, I was on the end of the boat, throwing out fish guts, waiting for Danny to come on so I could, because I got something from Danny.
What'd you get?
An understanding of where he's coming from with his ethics and a deeper understanding of where he comes from in philosophy. And I put that together by listening to him on the stream. So I was kind of happy with it.
And what have you figured it out? What if you, like, what's your final analysis of the subject, Danny?
You want me to share the secrets of my black ops?
You could do it off air if you want.
Locally?
Well, you can do it off air if you want.
Yes.
Well, first, we should take this the image off.
Huh? Yeah, I can.
Let's see.
Okay.
Dr. Dan said I think he said he sent you a reply back, Speed.
Oh, he did. Well, I got to go over to that particular division of the computer and see if I can find that reply.
How many tabs do you have open?
On the Mac, I have two 55-inch monitors and I have my MacBook, right? On each 55-inch monitor, I have 24 different screens that I can slide between by swiping.
Wait, you have 24 monitors?
No, I have two monitors, but I can switch out 24 screens on each of them.
Oh.
So right now I'm using 4 screens right now for this particular. So I have to. You're distracting me, for fuck's sake.
Well, sorry, I was just asking something. God damn.
Okay. Oh. I see you're doing EvoDevo, but he's busy till 9 or 9:30. If we're still online, oh no, we're not going to be online. But are you talking about CST? I don't want to go that long, but yeah, we could set up another talk on it, Dan. So Anyway, he won't be free. I'm not sure. Is Dan Central or is he Eastern?
I don't know. Ask him in the chat.
Yeah.
I don't have the chat open, unfortunately.
Back to you, maybe. Okay. Because Central Time Zone is the only time zone, as we've explained on this channel many times before.
Sure.
And if you speak a language like from Eastern time zones, then I do not speak your language.
Wait, does that mean you don't speak my language?
I don't speak Eastern time. If we're talking about time, I don't speak that language. So
No, but I'm.
Oh no,
I'm
you're Pacific.
time.
Yeah. You're all fucked up. You are all fucked up. Pacific time is so far off the center of the earth that that's why you have wildfires. Because you dip closer to the sun because you're off center.
I don't think that's how it works.
I'm pretty sure. I think so. I don't know. Anyway. Okay.
So I guess we'll wait on that, and we'll see if we have to make another stream, because I really want to hear Dr. I'm sorry for dragging another talk into this speed, but like I really want to hear Dr. Dan's thoughts on this, because he's probably smarter than all three of us put together.
Yep, he's educated.
Yeah,
educated. I love people that are educated. Like I say, I live in fear of getting something wrong around him.
Well, I mean, just sweet. If you feel that way, just up your game, right? You know what I mean?
I have respect for people who are educated.
So does that mean you have respect for Danny?
I didn't. Oh shit!
Oh, guys, he says he's Eastern. So would that be 6? Let's see. I'm 6 right now, so that would be 30. Oh, that would be a half an hour from now, right?
Well, no, hang on. Well, yeah, half an hour, 9:30, 6:30. Yeah, it's.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that much stamina. I think we should arrange by email another hangout. Maybe. What day is tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Why? Okay, already again? I just did Wednesday last week. Okay, so tomorrow night we could. Wednesday I'm free, Thursday I'm not. So anyway, yeah, we should arrange another hangout, and we could, but maybe we could chat a little bit and come up with a structure of what we want to talk about. But yeah,
Okay.
hearing what Dr. Dan says about the understanding that creationists have with epigenetics. You know something in hang on a second, let me get my Devo book.
EvoDevo.
Oh, here we go. This is Wolpert, and I got the hard copy here. Let me just take a look at the index for the hell of it, because I don't remember a whole lot of talk about epigenetics. Pretty much gene pathways, and I'm sure it's in here, but I'll be goddamn.
I am right all the time. I'm like Danny. I'm right in everything I say. Speed, you are an awesome dude. That means I'm right.
Okay, they mention epigenesis once in this entire book on page 420.
Huh.
So I mean, but we probably have a fuck ton to learn about, what really happens. But epigenetic changes, okay, and I can't see because I got all my lights off. Sorry, Loki. I still love you, Loki. Except in rare instances, cell differentiate does not involve any alteration in the sequence or amount of DNA, but instead it involves epigenetic changes. Okay. So they talk a little bit about epigenetic changes. And I'm pretty sure that some cell specification involves basically epigenetic modifications, because once the cells are specified, the chromatin is in some sort of a condition, right? That has been locked in, right? And that's why liver cells will keep being liver cells, unless you are unlucky enough to have one turn into a cancer cell. And then you got a problem.
Yeah,
But
I'm always.
Go ahead.
I know. I just said I always freak out. I'm gonna get cancer one of these days.
Oh yeah, everybody is all their life, and you don't really get it until you get it.
Well,
Then
I've been around smoke for the entirety of my life, right? And the guy downstairs also smokes, which seeps into my apartment. So I'm a little paranoid about getting cancer from smoke. I know what happens.
Oh my God, my raccoons are invading. It's 40 above out there, so they're charging. Oh my, and they're killing each other. The immorality of raccoons. I'm gonna have to go feed them. But I'm surprised that they don't mention epigenetics more in this book. Epigenetic modification. They probably mentioned methylation at some point. But maybe I can look through it a little bit, and we can have some fodder for talking next time.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure how much I have left in me. But what else you guys want to talk about?
Well, I was thinking David just joined the chat, so maybe if you want to let him in and we can chat and see if Dr. Dan's still online.
I can. Okay, I'm not going to invite everybody. I'm not going to let just anybody in. So
Yeah.
We're going to keep it small, but I'm going to put the link in chat.
Sorry, Speed. I'm keeping your stream narrow.
That's all right. We don't want it to turn into a Danny show.
I'm
a
going
D'Angelo
to
show.
keep attaching strings until I control your entire channel.
Cool. I love your ambition. Bring it on. You're trying to take over. I see your plan. Danny cannot communicate. It's hard to learn from him. Actually, we haven't done our math thing. Why haven't we done our math thing?
Because nobody likes Danny.
Well, no, Danny hasn't. I forgot all about it. We didn't do it last week. We were supposed to do it this week, and we were supposed to do it tonight, and we didn't. Shit!
Oh.
Did I miss an email? Let me go check
your email.
So, David, come on in. David, you want to come in?
I hope I didn't take up your time with Danny.
No, we hadn't even talked about it, so he didn't really reach out to us.
Huh.
We were supposed to do it. I guess we were doing it on Thursdays. No, he hasn't mentioned it, so nobody talked about it. It's me, Leo, and Danny. So no, not your problem. I forgot. Anyway, let me go feed some raccoons, guys. If you guys can chat for a minute. And,
okay.
Yeah, we can.
So, I guess how's your how's your learning been so far, Midnight? Just in general.
Slow is what I'm gonna say. Very fucking slow, and that doesn't really help that I have memory problems. So I can't just sit here and be like, and say, you know what I mean? The stuttering doesn't help. So I have a few fucking issues. Like, I don't know, but the good thing, earlier today after the stream, Leo did say that I was right about our son being third generation, so that was a nice ego boost.
Oh yeah. Stellar astrophysics is fun.
Yeah. Like for me, I don't know if you've ever read this book, right? Is why does E equals MC squared, and why you should care about it, or why it matters, or whatever the fuck. And they actually talk about that, how a lot of the heavier elements had to have come from a second generation star, right? You know what I mean? Because after
the author.
Brian Cox. Hold on a sec, I'll find.
Yeah, I think it's Brian Cox. I've heard that book title before. I think maybe I feel like I've seen it like Barnes and Noble or something.
All right. Oh, you got shit. What did I do?
Uh-oh.
Okay, by Brian Cox and Jeff Forshaw. Like, I really think you should read that book. And also, they have another one called The Quantum. Fuck you, phone. Be right back. The Quantum Universe.
I feel your pain.
Oh, my raccoons look terrible. They're all. I haven't fed them for about 3 weeks because it's been cold, so they go sleep. and their fur is all sticking out, and they just look terrible tonight. What the hell's wrong with my raccoons? I don't feed them. I mean, they're supposed to be able to go for months without eating.
Really?
Yeah, they hibernate like a bear.
I thought only
not
reptiles
real. Not,
could do that.
what's that?
I thought only like reptiles could do that.
They don't hibernate. They go into like a bear. They go into a very low metabolism state
Oh,
where they take their heart down and they sleep. They're basically
oh.
sleeping quietly and probably not even dreaming because they really jack their metabolism down. That's how they get through the winters. Because if it weren't for me feeding, and these little suckers, they're starting to come out more than any raccoon normally does. So I may be creating an environmental pressure that ends up extincting the species when I go away and I'm not feeding them anymore. They're kind of screwed. I don't know. No,
X population of raccoons becomes extinct because neighbor didn't feed them.
Exactly. Yeah, because I'm probably selecting out raccoons that are less likely to be able to hibernate, right? So I'm supporting their genetics, so eventually the population is going to drift a little bit.
Yeah,
And,
I feel like what that would be more drift than selection, wouldn't it?
no, it'd be selection because it would be. I am okay. I'm not selecting. Well, I'm allowing. Yeah, it would be more drift because I'm allowing both phenotypes to work, right? The ones that do sleep, and I'm allowing the weaker ones. Well, not God, I hate using that terminology. I'm allowing the ones that would not have that ability as much. And there's probably just one out there that I'm feeding that doesn't have the right combination of genes, and I'm keeping him alive. Now, he could drift into the population and possibly, and then if we had like a bottleneck or something where that population that he drifted into became cut off, then they may start to vary and become dependent on humans feeding them. Which would, after maybe 100 generations, create a problem, or maybe even less. I think that kind of evolution can happen more rapidly. Like if you got a bottleneck, I think it can happen within a few generations. I don't know. I think so. We could possibly create a monster here. But my son was telling me he read some stuff on raccoon brains, and apparently they are probably one of the more intelligent mammals, or more intelligent than dogs. And they're very good mechanically. They can plan, and they're looking more and more like primates. The complexity of primates. So here we have a brand new intelligence, the beginning of it, that in even as little as maybe 3 million years, they could be walking upright and building things and using tools. Raccoons. So, and then what's going to happen?
That brings up the question of like, or this is kind of a weird question, but like, which species or which family of species do you think is eventually going to become the next intelligence, basically?
Raccoons.
Okay, what about besides raccoons?
The what?
What about besides raccoons? Because I know you have your bias speed.
The size of raccoons, you mean? What?
But besides raccoons.
What are those? What? Oh, besides raccoons.
Yeah, besides raccoons. Sorry, I can't. I am speaking right. I know how to speak.
Okay, so besides raccoons, what else? Let's see. Dogs, maybe. No, they don't have hands, and I think you're going to have the hands.
Yeah.
So what else has hands? Cockroaches? No, not cockroaches. So I think raccoons are it.
Has anyone seen this the series The Future is Wild? Or like heard of it or
No.
By the way, getting back to these wonderful books, you should definitely buy it.
The what?
Why does E equals MC squared?
Oh, okay.
by Brian Cox and Jeff Forshaw.
Right.
Sounds like you're in a milk bottle.
Yeah, because my phone sucks. But not phone.
So David Neff is not taking our offer. David? Well,
What
are you not
Neff?
coming in, David?
Because
Maybe.
Andrew, I don't know.
Did David tell us why he's not coming in?
I made someone laugh in the chat. I don't know why though.
Because you're funny.
I'm not funny. I asked one of my or I asked my classmates in improv if I was funny. I didn't get a
Response?
I didn't get a very cut and dry response.
Yeah.
It was a sad day.
Yeah,
It's a sad day. It's a sad day for all of us on YouTube.
well, my dad used to say that I was kind of funny, quote unquote. Something funny.
Okay, good night, everybody. We're going off air.
Are we?
I don't know. It's your stream.
Okay. Yeah. Up to you, Andrew.
Let's see.
We're all
I
in
guess
15 minutes.
I'm undecided.
Okay.
I don't know. Because I feel like if we were to do it like tomorrow, then like we'd move on to another topic basically. Like I don't know.
What didn't I understand, Jerry? What are you picking on me about? Jerry's picking on me.
Hey Jerry, he didn't understand besides it's my poor pronunciation skills.
Oh, I see. I didn't understand besides. Oh, I thought he was picking on me. I was going to have him come in here and do a Danny on him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Anyway, I think Danny adds a certain depth to our conversations. In spite of the fact
I think so.
Yeah,
that
insanity.
he's just got to slow down a little bit and try to be a little nicer and quit, triggering us. Like trigger words are you don't understand, you don't get what I'm saying, you're a poor interlocutor, or like what else they say, you're a dumbass. That doesn't help.
Yeah, no, and and there's a reason why I told him that he was condescending and a fucking, you know what I mean, getting arrogant.
Yeah, and that's what Dak was trying to tell him, is that there are things about what you're doing that you don't even understand, that you're not conscious of. And that's and then Danny went off on that forever, and it just whatever. Anyway, creationists. What is okay? Cel Cordova has another stream that I was listening to, which I thought was very interesting, and we should review it. And it's an after show for, I think it was part 6 or something like that.
Yeah. I guess we can start looking at it and see if Dr. Dan shows up maybe.
God, I'm not sure how long I want to go tonight, Andrew.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah. I think we should set this up and all block time for it. If that's okay with you, Dr. Dan, I would like to set something up maybe for tomorrow night. Is everybody free tomorrow night?
I'm always free. I have no life. You should know this by now.
Yeah. Sorry, I get enthusiastic. I like to ask Dr. Dan questions.
I know.
Let's see what he says.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time, Speed. Like I said, I'm really on a subject.
It's not time. It's energy level. I haven't had dinner yet, and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
No, but well, how long could you stream tonight if we stuck around? I mean, are you willing to?
I could probably go for another hour. I'm pretty free tonight.
Okay. We'll see what Dr. Dan wants to do.
Yeah.
But he's not talking to us. He's not talking to us. Oh, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a Jensen thing. Shit, so he's busy tomorrow night. Well, we could do it earlier. Okay. We got a link in the chat for the Jensen thing. Everybody should go look at that. Are you close to being able to come in, Dr. Dan? He said 8:30. So
Wait, you said 8:30?
I think it was 8:30, wasn't it?
8:30 Mountain, or 8:30 Mountain, 9:30 Eastern.
So 9 p.m. real time tomorrow. So he's probably going to be tied up with that. But we got no takers yet. Nobody's coming into the back room. So I think we should end.
Okay.
Okay. We'll take this up at another moment.
Good
All
night,
right.
everybody. Love you all. Mwah, kiss, kiss.
Okay.
Farewell,
Goodbye,
viewers.
world.
Hey, I'm just being myself, y'all. Okay. A fabulous. I won't say the F word on your channel.
Okay, let's do it tomorrow night, Dr. Dan. We'll talk. Because if you're doing just a half an hour on Jensen, maybe you got some bandwidth for us, but we will communicate by email. So I'm going to end the live stream. Goodbye, cruel world.